Hi, I'm Jay Hill, Interim Leader of the federal Maverick Party. In recent days, there has been continued confusion expressed by some folks about the two-track approach of our Maverick Party. If you've had the opportunity to go to our party website at www.maverickparty.ca, you already know that our mission statement reads, to achieve greater fairness and self-determination for Western Canadians through A, constitutional change, or B, the creation of an independent nation. Some folks seem confused by this. They say, and I quote, after more than a century of failed effort by Westerners, why would you even try to negotiate a better deal for the West within Confederation? And in addition, I've often heard the comment, after 17 years in the House of Commons, some of them at the epicenter of government, you must know there's virtually no chance of Central and Eastern Canada agreeing to the constitutional changes necessary to finally treat the West fairly. We know that polling consistently shows the majority of Western Canadians do not agree that independence is the best way forward and they cannot overcome their emotional ties to Canada. Friends, no matter how many of us might wish it to be otherwise, we need these fellow Westerners. If we ever have the opportunity to vote for an independence in a provincial referendum, we cannot do it without them. Quebec twice lost independence referendums because they failed to convince enough of the undecideds to vote yes. We cannot afford to make the same mistake. So, our challenge is how to convince them. To overcome their reluctance, the Maverick Party intends to submit a list of constitutional and legislative amendments to the federal government, and by extension, Eastern Canadians. We have hope that we will be able to share these amendments with you very soon. We believe this will show Westerners that don't yet support independence that the Maverick Party is offering the East a clear choice, a last choice for a united Canada. Unlike previous attempts to modernize Canada's Constitution, we will not wait for the likely rejection of these amendments, but rather concurrently pursue building support for an independent Western nation. However, if, no matter how unlikely, the federal government and Eastern provinces support meaningful constitutional reform, then we will advocate for a referendum to allow all Westerners a vote on whether they believe the amendments are sufficient for the West to remain within Canada. On the other side, if the federal government and Eastern Canadians ignore our genuine attempt at reconfederation, we will continue to build the support necessary to demand the 4 Western provinces hold independence referendums. And that brings me to another question that is frequently asked. If, in all likelihood, the West must secede to finally achieve fairness, what is the point of having Maverick MPs elected to Canada's Parliament? The answer lies in the process for separation. At least twice there will need to be debates and votes in the Parliament of Canada. First, following a province deciding upon a referendum question for secession, within 30 days the House of Commons must determine whether the question is clear. Which MPs do you think would be inclined to support the question and argue for its adoption? Members of Parliament representing parties beholden to Central and Eastern Canada, or Maverick MPs that only represent the best interests of the West? I know, it's a rhetorical question. Obviously, because we would only be representing Western ridings, we would not have sufficient votes to carry the motion by ourselves. But by the strength and passion of our arguments, I'm confident Maverick MPs could convince Parliament of the clarity of the question. Secondly, following a successful outcome of the referendum, in a specific Western province, the result must return to the House of Commons. Just as the clarity of the question itself must be determined, so must the result. Does the yes vote represent a clear decision by the majority of the people in that province? Does it truly represent that the majority of the province wish to embark upon negotiation with the federal government and the remainder of the provinces to leave Canada? Again, who would be the most passionate of speakers in favor of the yes vote? Do you seriously believe that any of the national parties would speak in favor? As with the Bloc Québécois, Maverick MPs would be in Parliament for one purpose only: to represent the will and best interests of Western Canadians. In the days ahead, I hope to address other frequently asked questions. I hope you'll be able to join me. Bye for now, and please stay safe.